we've compiled a list of 10 simple, inexpensive, and practical techniques on how to boost internet speed on PC with Ethernet and avoid waiting for Netflix to buffer. Everyone wants faster internet and Wi-Fi, but some suggestions are completely false, while others are extremely technical and/or expensive. Let's get your Wi-Fi and internet up and running quickly without having to spend hours finding out how your router works. Here are 10 ways to boost your internet speed. Let us begin with a speed test. Perform a brief speed test to check what kind of data speeds you get for comparison. Simply click the Test Your Speed button and wait for the results. Are you seeing slower data speeds than promised by your internet service provider? If you continue to experience slower than advertised data speeds after applying these 10 suggestions, contact your ISP and, you guessed it, complain. You're entitled to receive what you pay for. Have you reached your data limit? Data caps are one of the most common causes of poor internet speeds. For obvious reasons, ISPs do not promote their bandwidth limitations, although they can drastically disrupt your connection. A data cap means that you can only use a particular amount of data per month, which might range from a few hundred megabytes to hundreds of gigabytes. If you go over your data limit, your ISP will severely slow down your internet connection. You will notice. Check your bill if you're not sure if you have a data cap. You most likely do, and it will be stated in the fine print. If you're constantly going over your monthly data limit, talk to your provider about upgrading to a higher capacity internet plan. Number 1. Move your router and its antenna. You might want to keep your router hidden inside a cabinet or on a bookshelf. However, if your Wi-Fi signal is degraded, keeping your router out of sight and mind could be the culprit. Here's where you should put your router. For the best coverage, place it in the center of your home. To eliminate interference and prevent overheating, it is surrounded by open air, not in the vicinity of electronic devices, appliances, or metal things. If feasible, place it on a high shelf or with a mount. A central position for your router is essential if you want to improve Wi-Fi coverage across your home. If you just have one outlet to connect your equipment into, this may be problematic. However, it's worth the minor inconvenience of running wires along walls if you want to watch Netflix in your bedroom or set up your home office in the dining room. If you are unable to run cables, try to locate your router near your devices. Running wires isn't always an option. If this is the situation in your home, try to position your router as close to any locations where you frequently require an internet connection, or as close to the devices you use the most. Aim your router's antenna strategically. You might think that your router's antenna should be straight up, but rotating them around will increase your Wi-Fi signal and range. Because most current routers have omnidirectional antenna, they emit a Wi-Fi signal perpendicular to the antenna. The following is how to position external router antennas to boost your Wi-Fi signal. Point your antenna straight up if you reside in a single-story house. If you reside in a multi-story house, point half of your antenna straight up and the other half at an angle or parallel to the floor. If your router arrived with internal antenna, all you need to do is make sure you set it up correctly. So, if you want your router to stand tall and proud, don't turn it on its side. Number 2. Upgrade the firmware on your router. Updating the firmware on your devices can enhance internet speeds while also increasing security. Most routers allow you to upgrade your firmware from the main management panel, making it simple to download and install the latest file. If your internet provider provided you with a modem router combo or router, you may not need to upgrade your firmware. My Xfinity Gateway does not have a firmware update option because it is automatically updated by Xfinity. Number 3. Reset your router. Every month or so, reset your router to give the gadget a rest and to refresh your internet connection. If you're having major upload and download speed problems, you can even restart your router on a daily basis. Reset your modem if it is separate from your router. Everything must be reset. Resetting the modem stimulates your connection to your ISP, which is what turning it on and off does. Do you want to avoid adding another chore to your to-do list? Simply purchase an outlet timer, such as Century's programmable timer. Check the link in the description. You may program your modem and router to switch the system on and off for you. Set the timer for every night while you're in bed to restart the system. That way, you can wake up every morning to that new online sensation. Remember that rebooting your router and modem will not miraculously transform your snail-like connection into a cheetah, but it will help, and it's a really simple repair. Number 4. Make use of an Ethernet cable. Ethernet connections, for example, will always be quicker and more dependable than wireless connections. Rather than depending on over-the-air transmissions, the cable sends the signal directly to your connected device. Connect your most crucial gadgets to the internet via an Ethernet wire if possible. Connecting my home PC through Ethernet is one of the top 12 decisions I've ever made. You'll for sure get the maximum internet speed that is promised to you. You can link the following devices to the internet: your TV, PlayStation, Xbox, or another video game console, your desktop or laptop computer. Cable connections are ideal, especially if you frequently watch data-heavy media such as videos on your TV. Oh, and there's an added benefit. Ethernet is inherently more secure than Wi-Fi. Ethernet is a better option if you want to keep your banking information completely private. For gaming, we strongly advise using an Ethernet cable. Nothing is worse than lagging out in the middle of a boss fight. That is why, if you game, we recommend utilizing an Ethernet cable. Number 5. Disable annoying advertisements. Almost all content providers show adverts. There are advertising, photos, GIFs, and auto-playing movies everywhere you go online. Even if you don't mind seeing commercials, the speed of your internet connection is important. Because advertising media slows down your internet connection, it's sometimes easier to simply block it. Install an ad blocking plugin to disable those data-heavy autoplay movies, and you'll give your connection some breathing room. AdBlock Plus is our recommended ad blocking plugin. It's free and compatible with the majority of web browsers. Some VPNs, such as NordVPN, Surfshark, and CyberGhost, also provide ad blockers. Number 6. Modify the frequency and channel of your Wi-Fi. Things are about to get a little more technical here, but stick with us and you might just boost your Wi-Fi speeds. Examine your Wi-Fi frequency and channel settings after updating the firmware on your router. Both of these may be located on your router's setting page, and altering them may provide a boost in Wi-Fi speed. Which Wi-Fi frequency is superior, 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz? The distinction between the two Wi-Fi frequencies is as follows. Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz travels further, but at a slower rate. Wi-Fi at 5 GHz has better speeds but a shorter range. If the majority of your devices are within 10 feet of the router, go ahead and use the 5 GHz frequency. However, if you have a larger home with multiple rooms, a 2.4 GHz frequency will provide faster data speeds. You should be able to adjust your Wi-Fi frequency easily through your router settings. Number 7. Kick Wi-Fi snoops to the curb. If your Wi-Fi network is open to the public or you use an easy-to-guess password, it's likely that someone, rather than something, is creating your Wi-Fi traffic block. By updating your Wi-Fi password, you may instantly kick out any undesirable devices or users. That way, you'll have to input your new password on each device you want to connect to Wi-Fi, leaving undesired devices and users out in the cold. You can use applications or your router's settings interface to view who's on your Wi-Fi network before changing your password. Thing, a free software that works both on Android and iPhone smartphones, is our favorite. If you don't recognize a device right away, stroll around your house to see if any linked gadgets have the same name, or ask people in your home. Device management settings on some routers and internet providers can also identify the devices on your network. Check the link in the description for ISP apps and router device administration guides. Number 8. Replace your router. Your Wi-Fi network could be clogged by an old router. If yours is more than a few years old, it's time to replace it, particularly when newer routers use contemporary Wi-Fi protocols with higher maximum speeds. A modern router may also include some features such as beamforming and multiple user, multiple input, multiple output, which boost signal strength and allow many devices to connect to your Wi-Fi at the same time without degrading signal quality. Number 9. Make use of a Wi-Fi extender or a mesh Wi-Fi network. Sometimes an additional piece of equipment is required to extend the Wi-Fi signal to the farthest reaches of your home. I was so annoyed by the poor Wi-Fi signal in my parents' guest bedroom that I purchased them a TP-Link N300 Wi-Fi extender. I could now watch Netflix without the buffering symbol interrupting the fun. Similarly, a friend purchased a Netgear Orbi Mesh Wi-Fi system to ensure a strong Wi-Fi signal across his 2-story house. Wi-Fi extenders and mesh Wi-Fi systems are both fantastic ways to increase the range of your Wi-Fi. However, depending on your circumstances, one may be a better alternative than the other. Here's how they compare in general. Extenders for Wi-Fi, a less expensive choice, repeats your router's Wi-Fi signal to increase range. Inefficiencies may cause your Wi-Fi speeds to slow. If you travel about the house, you must manually select the extender's Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi mesh networks, greater cost, can be used to replace your previous router in order to set up a Wi-Fi network. More efficiency than extenders. As you move around the house, the strongest Wi-Fi signal is automatically selected. Number 10. Change your internet service provider. Sometimes the largest issue is your internet service provider. We acknowledge that this tip isn't always easy or simple, but it's useful and may even save you money in the long run. If your internet provider continues to offer you with a slow internet connection despite your efforts, consider switching. Because most locations only have a few internet service providers, ISPs, it should be a quick check to determine if the other provider that covers your area offers cheaper costs for faster internet speeds. Switching providers should be a last choice, but if you've tried everything else on our list and your speed is still slow, it's time to make a change. Especially if you're currently utilizing satellite internet and discover that you can switch to cable or DSL. DSL or cable internet will almost certainly provide better speeds and more data than satellite internet. Think about 5G home internet. If you don't have access to fast internet in your neighborhood, 5G home internet could be a game changer. Historically, if ISP options were scarce, you were essentially forced to rely on satellite internet as your only option. However, with the construction of 5G towers across the country, you may now receive a considerably faster internet connection by simply putting in a 5G router. T-Mobile and Verizon both offer 5G home internet, with download rates ranging from 72 megabits per second to near gigabit speeds. If you've been using DSL or satellite internet, 5G home internet will significantly improve your internet speeds. Maintain your speed and continue surfing. We understand that sluggish internet speeds can appear physically painful, especially if you have to cope with a slow connection and multiple priorities every day. Use these 10 simple tips on how to boost your internet speed on PC with Ethernet without getting bogged down into technical server details, and you'll be back to continuous binge in no time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Thanks for watching.